when it comes to the Senate, Democrats are facing a brutal map this year because they're forced to defend far more incumbent seats than the Republicans are. Democratic senators in Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin are in dead heats trying to hold their seats against challengers. In Michigan, two House veterans, Elissa Slotkin and Mike Rogers, are in a toss-up race for an open Senate seat. While in Montana, Democratic incumbent Senator Jon Tester is behind his Republican challenger, Tim Sheehy, with Montana becoming increasingly red. Joining me now is the man leading the charge. It's up to Gary Peters from Michigan, trying to hold on to Democratic control of the Senate, a 50-50 Senate at that, chair of the Democratic Senatorial Campaign Committee. Senator Peters, thanks for being with us again. So the last time we talked, it was not this tough. In your home state of Michigan, for instance, it's now a toss-up between Elissa Slotkin, who at one point was comfortably ahead, and Mike Rogers. Slotkin said that ticket splitters were pivotal to her winning in 2020. Is that the path this time, too?
Well, I believe Kamala Harris will win in Michigan. It's going to be a close race, but I believe that she will win. I'm confident that Elissa will win. But if you look at all of our Senate races, we were basically where we thought we'd be. We knew these would all tighten right before Election Day. The ones that are in battleground states means that those are going to be tight races by definition. So it's not a surprise. And then we've got some really tough turf to hold incumbents, both in Montana and Ohio. And we are in the fight in both of those states. So right now, we're looking at candidate versus candidate battles, superior Democrats running against flawed to highly flawed Republican challengers. And we have a tremendous ground game. It's about turning out our voters, identifying them. It's how we won last cycle when no one thought we could do it. We had a ground game. And when you're looking for an extra point or two, the ground game is a difference maker. And it's clear in all these races, those numbers are going to be in that range for a ground operation to have help. Now, we do have a lot of money coming against us. The Republicans are pouring money against our Democratic candidates who are running. We're trying to close the gaps in the DSEC. We're still in full fundraising mode. My defendthesenate.org site is critical for us to make sure we have the resources to plug the gaps that we are seeing. But as long as we plug those gaps, we continue to work our ground game and turn out our voters. I'm confident we can win. We just got to run through the tape. We cannot let up until the polls all close.
Do you think Senator Brown in Ohio has a tough challenge there?
He does, no question. Donald Trump's going to win Ohio by a few points. But Sherrod Brown has consistently been able to win and outperform wherever the Democratic performance is in Ohio. He's as authentic as you can possibly get. He knows Ohio. He's been a champion for working families in that state for many, many years. His numbers are encouraging right now, but it's going to be a photo finish. But in the end, given the strong candidate we have in Ohio and Sherrod Brown's reputation as being a fighter for the people of the state, I'm confident he will come out on top and win.
Now, Democrats have dangled, you and I talked about this, the prospect of flipping Texas, where Ted Cruz is defending his seat against Colin Allred. And Colin Allred has been described as a great candidate. We've interviewed him. What makes you think, though, that he can win a statewide race against Senator Cruz? I think the last time that happened with a statewide race was in '88, maybe?
It has been a while, but certainly the dynamics are different. We have an incumbent who's not that popular in Texas. And yeah, as you mentioned, Colin Allred is a strong candidate. The challenge has always been just to get him better known in Texas. It's an expensive state, but he's been able to do that. And as people get to know him, they have been supportive. Particularly on reproductive freedom in Texas. Texas has some of the most draconian laws. We have horrible stories of women that have had to leave the state of Texas to get essential health care because of folks like Ted Cruz and others that have put these horrible rules in place in Texas. And women are going to be showing up in very large numbers and making sure that their voice is heard. And so I'm confident that he can do it. We just have to continue to work to get his name out. Resources continue to be an issue in Texas. That's why our defendthesenate.org, we're putting resources in to help him here at the end and the finish. But it's real. And we're going to continue to work hard right till the polls close.
And in Pennsylvania, where there is a large Hispanic and particularly Puerto Rican population, 300,000 people, Do you think that the impact of those racist comments at the Trump rally might have an impact and might help Bob Casey?
Yeah, I do. I think, I mean, what was said at the Trump rally is simply outrageous. And it really shows the disrespect Trump has for folks, folks of Puerto Rican descent, Latinos. I mean, they pretty much attacked a wide cross section of America. Donald Trump has disdain and disrespect for people, and I would certainly hope that folks are as outraged as I hear they are, and they're going to make sure that they send a very strong message to Donald Trump that you can't disrespect us and expect to get our vote. We're going to support Kamala Harris, somebody who will be truly a uniter, bringing people together. And that's what we need in this country. We need to come together. I think anything that from this election that is the best lesson is that we've got to stop this hyper-partisan division and anger and hate and start coming together as a country. That's when we are the strongest as a nation.